When I was growing up in Montana, I had two dreams. I wanted to be a paleontologist, a dinosaur paleontologist, and I wanted to have a pet dinosaur.
Also showed you the space tether as well.
That's what I've been striving for all of my life. I was very fortunate early in my career. I was fortunate in finding things. I wasn't very good at reading things. In fact, I don't read much of anything. I am extremely dyslexic, and so reading is the hardest thing I do. But instead, I go out and I find things, and I just pick things up. I basically, practice for finding money on the street. And I wander about the hills, and I have found a few things, and I have been fortunate enough to find things like the first eggs in the Western Hemisphere, and the first baby dinosaurs in nests, and the first dinosaur embryos, and massive accumulations of bones. And it happened to be at a time when people were just starting to begin to realize that dinosaurs weren't the big, stupid, green reptiles that people had thought for so many years, and people were starting to get an idea that dinosaurs were special. And so, at that time, I was able to make some interesting hypotheses along with my colleagues. We were able to actually say that dinosaurs, based on the evidence we had, that dinosaurs built nests and lived in colonies and cared for their young, brought food to their babies, and traveled in gigantic herds. So it was pretty interesting stuff. I have gone on to find more things and discover that dinosaurs really were very social. We have found a lot of evidence that dinosaurs changed from when they were juveniles to when they were adults. The appearance of them would have been different, which it is in all social animals. In social groups of animals, the juveniles always look different than the adults. The adults can recognize the juveniles can recognize the adults. And so we're making a better picture of what a dinosaur looked like, and they didn't just all chase jeeps around. But it is that social thing that I guess attracted Michael Crichton. In his book, he talked about the social animals, and then Steven Spielberg, of course, depicts these dinosaurs as being very social creatures. The theme of this story is building a dinosaur, and so we come to that part of Jurassic Park. This is, Michael Crichton really was one of the first people to talk about bringing dinosaurs back to life. You all know this story, right? I mean, I assume everyone here has seen Jurassic Park. If you want to make a dinosaur, you go out, you find yourself a piece of petrified tree sap, otherwise known as amber, that has some blood-sucking insects in it, good ones, and you get your insect and you drill into it and you suck out some DNA, because obviously all insects that suck blood in those days suck dinosaur DNA out, and you take your DNA back to the laboratory and you clone it, and I guess you inject it into maybe an ostrich egg or something like that, and then you wait, and lo and behold, out pops a little baby dinosaur. And everybody's happy about that. And they're happy over and over again. They keep doing it. They just keep making these things, and then the dinosaurs, being social, act out their socialness, and they get together and they conspire. And of course, that's what makes Steven Spielberg's movie. Conspiring dinosaurs, chasing people around. So I assume everybody knows that if you actually had a piece of amber that had an insect in it, and you drilled into it, and you got something out of that insect, and you cloned it, and you did it over and over and over again, you'd have a room full of mosquitoes. Right? Or maybe, and probably a whole bunch of trees as well. Now, if you want dinosaurs.
So you guys wanted to know how owls and dinosaurs are related? Here's how. I have a collection of videos I'm going to show you here. It's Mayan mythology. It's about two hero twins, Jaguar and Hunter. And you'll find that Jaguar and Hunter are relative to Orion and Leo, or a lion, which are both symbols that are used in Egypt, the Great Pyramids, as the Great Pyramids are lined up with Orion, and Leo is lined up with the Sphinx, or the Sphinx is.
Long time ago, before the time of Christ, the people, the Maya people of Guatemala and Mexico, told a story of the creation, of the birth of the sun and the moon, and of the sowing of the first corn. The Maya drew pictures of these sacred stories on pottery that was buried in the graves and in tombs. These pictures were meant to guide the dead through the frightening trials of the underworld to their final place of illumination. This story of creation is known as the Popol of the Kichimaya.
Ka katsininok ka kachamamok katsinonik ka katsilanik ka kalolinik ka tolong napuchupaka Guaecate navetsig, navichang, mahavijun winak, hunchikop, sikin, kar, tap, che, abak, hul, siguan, kin, kichelaj. Chutukel kaje olik. Maguikalaju guachuleu. Chutukel remanik palo.
These then are truly the first words, the first sound. There was not yet one person, one deer, bird, fish, tree, rock, meadow, or even forest. All alone the sky existed. All alone the sea lay silent. The womb of heaven was still. They were there, the former, the shaper, majesty and plumed serpent. Brilliant they were then, and wrapped in plumes and dove feathers. They spoke, they thought, they pondered. Then they gave birth. Then they thought about the birth, the creation of trees and shrubs, and the dawn of life and humanity, all created by heart of sky, heart of earth. They called on our grandmother, Ishmukhani, our grandfather, Ishpiaku. What can you make that may be intelligent, that may worship us, that may call upon us? Try to make obedient beings, respectful beings, out of earth, out of mud. But the flesh was soft. It made no sense. It could not multiply, and so it was destroyed. Try again. Try one more time, grandmother of day, grandmother of light. At a stroke, the dolls were made, carved of wood. But the wooden people had no hearts, no minds. They abused the trees and the rocks. They abused their dogs and their grinding stones. They did not think of their Creator, heart of sky, heart of earth. And so they were destroyed. Their dogs tore at them. Their pots smashed their faces. And heart of sky brought a great flood. Those who escaped the great flood are the monkeys in the forest today. This is the story of the making of the father of the hero twins who bring light to the earth. In the darkness, in the nighttime, were born one hunter and seven hunters. One hunter married alligator parrot. Their first two sons were one howler and one monkey. both artists and magicians. The fathers and sons played ball every day on the road to Xibalba, the underworld.
But it's definitely where it was headed.
One death and seven death, pus maker, bile maker, and on like that. Their job was to sicken people, to kill people. They had heard of the miraculous rubber ball, and they wanted one for their own.
Happening on Earth. They don't respect us. In fact, they're throwing things over our heads.
One death had a plan.
Hey, knife owl, one-leg owl, parrot owl, skull owl, bring the ball players here. Invite the fathers down here to play with us. We want to enjoy ourselves with them.
When one hunter and seven hunter arrived, they were tricked and humiliated by the lords of Xibalba.
So you guys want to know how owls, dinosaurs are related?
They just were not wise enough.
Here's how.
And so they were sacrificed.
I have a collection of videos I'm going to show you here. It's Mayan mythology. It's about two hero twins, Jaguar and Hunter. And you'll find that Jaguar and Hunter are relative to Orion and Leo, or
February 25th, 1996.
Which are both symbols that are used in Egypt, the Great Pyramids, as the Great Pyramids are lined up with Orion, and Leo is lined up with the Sphinx, or the Sphinx is looking at Leo.
Nitrogen gas gathers around the tether, effectively turning it into a gigantic fluorescent light in space. Incredibly, it seems to attract some strange company.
When I saw the tape, I realized that I was looking at very exciting, incredible footage that has never before been seen by the public.
David Sarita, an avid UFO researcher and video analyst, has been looking into UFOs documented by NASA cameras for many years. And he believes this incident, which has since become known to leading experts as the Tether incident, may prove aliens exist and are studying us.
You see a swarm of what may be UFOs flying around it, and then we see the cameras zoom in on these objects, and we see giant discs passing behind this tether.
Yet the astronauts involved in the test seem to have a more mundane explanation.
There's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us.
But is it really mere debris, as NASA often claims, when looking at alleged UFOs in space? Watch what happens when the cameras zoom in.
What we're seeing on the screen here appears very small, but if you blew this up, you would see that these objects are enormous in size. This UFO here, I measured approximately 2 to 3 miles in diameter against the 12-mile length of the tether. If it's further behind the tether than I think, it could be much larger.
The potential size of these UFOs is clearly mind-boggling, and, according to Sarita, so is the advanced technology behind them. Would a piece of space junk pulsate in a regular pattern as we see here?
This spiral, to me, suggests a gravity wave that is stronger than light. This, to me, is proof in quantum physics that these UFOs are utilizing very advanced forms of gravity energy and zero-point energy.
Whatever kind of detectable, pulsating power source was captured in this compelling UFO footage, no one has been able to explain or identify this mysterious, undeniable strobing spacecraft that flew extremely close to the International Space Station in 1999. Though none of the scientists conducting experiments aboard the space station publicly acknowledged what should have been a truly alarming incident, this rarely seen video, recorded live by a dedicated NASA downlink observer, is considered by top experts to be one of the most puzzling NASA UFO videos ever shown. Where did this craft originate? What is its purpose? And what might analysis of this strobing light reveal? While NASA remains tight-lipped, UFO investigators maintain that the controversy over recorded events like these led NASA to stop live broadcasts during subsequent missions.
Be one more tool in the fight against crime. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
You've seen it before, right out of Hollywood.
Maybe a little uncomfortable.
A microchip inside the body. A hidden, high-tech identification tag.
They're the access codes to your drop spot.
Now Mexico's Attorney General and 160 of his deputies have had microchips implanted in their arms to control access to the country's new Criminal Investigation Center. It is to provide access, said the Attorney General, to the right people in exclusive areas where there is valuable, sensitive information. The microchip, the size of a grain of rice, is injected under the skin and gives off a low-frequency radio wave. A scanner reads each chip's identification number to verify an official's security clearance.
The microchip is tamper-proof, it's secure, no one can take your microchip and use it to their advantage to gain access to your facility.
The chip, developed by Applied Digital Solutions, is similar to those used in the U.S. to identify and return runaway dogs. In humans, it can have several uses.
Little stick.
The chips can also be programmed to carry medical information. The one in this patient details his blood type, allergies, and the fact he has Alzheimer's disease. The device is now awaiting approval from the Food and Drug Administration. Some researchers are developing microchips for use in the home, so that wearing one can turn on lights and open doors. Hands-free. The next step, say researchers, is developing an implantable chip with a global positioning system to track people miles away, whether kidnapped or lost, just as cars can now be traced. A kind of LoJack for the body. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
That is our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. Good night.
The sword with its thin, straight blade is known in China as the gentleman of all weapons. The thin blade of the Chinese sword has razor-sharp edges on both sides. Because it has two edges, it requires more practice and technique.
Hey, let them hold you back, man. Fuck them. Yeah, we the sages and the kings. The razor blades swing. Stab track, graphic, vernacular through higher strata. The interplanetary mathematics, kinetic, the infinite, and the God wills unlimited. Building with the ancient prophet mythics. Moving through the shadows, undetected, encrypted. Seventh method, visions drifted. We scissor kicking lizards in the face. Where's the reach? No trace. This is stationary sorcery. My queen's got my back for plots to dethrone me, the formidable, glorious lore. See, the spirit refugee settles score, eventual war, this is war. You fester in spores, can't pester the lords. The vocal swords impale, secret societies that hide what should be free with an oath and a creed. The land of liberty, plan lies and greed. We find a nine trap by my feet, we with Elohim in peace.
Swing my sword with precision, like lightning speed, blurs your vision. Swing my sword with precision. Lightning speed, blurs your vision.
Arches buck, carbon rods, the heart's plunged. Broad bug contour in the armed trucks, stalagmite blotted sea. Bomb huts, Mars runs on the mundane or harlot. Far from your botched love, God's flood. Quoting Canterbury with Chaucer in the park slum. Bronze club, taking large chunks for the cauldron. Notches tongue blossom, sepia blossom. Charred the marksman, marching in the march comes from bars above. To march drug and launch bugs. Dark love, can't Corso squadron. Raven plume on the windsail, car crush. Phosphorus, phosphorus, hard pluck. Frost blush, iron claws, crawl numb. Archangel was stardust with the arquebus. Pawn scum, mantra, rocket in the conifers.
Swing my sword with precision, like lightning speed, blurs your vision. Swing my sword with precision, lightning speed, blurs your vision.
Tips, clips with an infinite fist, crush you to bits. You fake it in penthouse tips. Yo, scum, crumb dunce. Ain't got enough guns to stun one of my duns. We comes from the sun, watch the demons as they run. The heat on gash with tiger claw, lawless jaws, spirit hit with pipes and bars. Stripes and scars, spawn burning stars. I'm standing armed, followed by 2 tanks. The crews are phalanx. We the liberators, labeled traitors. War on paper, my saber scribe slash snakes and alligators. You can't debate the gods, that's time wasting. Satan's faithful, be base and hatred, be patient. The angels with the shell casing, chasing pagan enslavement, yo. We illuminate prolific, the scientific mystic, not ordinary. The portals take me orbital, full dimension, we beyond your comprehension.
Swing my sword with precision, like lightning speed, blurs your vision. Swing my sword with precision, lightning speed, blurs your vision.
Like a flying phoenix, that's the sword. Its main form of attack is the thrust.
Snakes face a double-edged sword, snakes face a double-edged sword.